Next up, we're pleased to have a representative for one of the national sponsors for this event, which is Code Pink is one of the major sponsors, but Answer Coalition is right there lifting it up with so many national organizations. So we're very pleased from Answer Coalition, Ray Satya Mohapatra.
We say no war with Russia. We say no war with Russia. Friends, my name is Satya and I'm a member of the Answer Coalition. Answer stands for Act Now to Stop War and End Racism, an international organization opposing all US imperialist war abroad and fighting against racism inside the US. Let's be very clear, without any doubt, who is the one committing aggression? Who is the one threatening peace in Eurasia? Who is instigating the crisis in Eurasia with a potential for World War III? We have to be very clear about it. Paraphrasing Malcolm X, if you are not careful, the newspaper will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Without clarity about the situation, we'll be stuck in paralysis, preventing us from any action to stop the war. The aggressor is the US government. It is the Biden administration that is doing the provocation and instigating crisis with Russia. United States has installed missile bases in Romania, in Latvia, in Poland, pointing to Russia. It is the US that has military bases there and sending troops to Eastern Europe. Russian troops remain inside Russian border. US troops are all over the world. The US government doesn't even acknowledge any country's sovereignty. Imagine if Russia sends troops to Mexico or installs missile bases in Canada. How would you feel? The Russian demand is very reasonable. They demand security guarantee in Europe and no expansion of NATO. No missile bases pointing to Russia. Think it over. Is peace arrangement so unimaginable thing? Is it such an unreasonable demand? So let's ask why? Why is the Biden administration doing this? We are concerned about white supremacy here in the United States, right? The militants in Ukraine that the US is arming with heavy assault weapons are fascist, like the right sector, the Azov battalion. Their lineage go back to the Nazis. American white supremacists, fascist militia, some of whom took part in the insurrection in January 16 to overturn US election, glorify Ukraine and go there to get military training. Think of the irony. Biden is arming such groups, yet claiming to be genuinely opposed to the failed fascist coup in January 6th. Why is Biden doing it? Why is US government instigating the crisis now? The answer is the Biden administration total failure here in the United States. Close to 1 million people are dead due to the criminal mismanagement of the pandemic. It has been the worst public health response anywhere in the world from two successive governments. Complete state failure. People are suffering due to high inflation, the worst in 40 years, with any wage gains totally gone. Any reforms that could have reduced people's suffering is stalled. Biden is just having a well-known tactic of wagging the dog. The ruling class politicians don't have any solution to people's problem. Either they deny people's suffering or they try to deflect it by creating external enemies so that people could be fooled into rallying around the flag, although not for long. Trump did that. Donald Trump did that with China and Central American immigrants, scapegoated them. The Democrats do that with China and Russia. Russians are not our enemy. Chinese are not our enemy. Our enemy sits here at home. Our enemy is the criminal government that changed the health guidelines to serve the business people and let the pandemic rip. Our enemy is the government that snatched back the little monetary help parents were getting, thereby condemning millions of children to deeper and deeper poverty and malnutrition. Our enemy is the system that is enabling the racist killer cops and doubling down on policing despite record number of people rose against it. Our enemy is the system that would rather let 80,000 bridges collapse in order to buy expensive missiles. No Chinese, no Russians are responsible for that. Russian and Chinese are not throwing people into the street of America when the pandemic is still raging. It is the US government that has allowed open season on eviction. We must reject this deflection tactic. The American people have nothing to gain and everything to lose from a war with Russia. Say with me again, no war with Russia.
Thank you, Satya. No war with Russia! No war with Russia! No war with Russia!